Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Toonstruck for the PC. In the last episode, we did everything we could in Qtopia, Xanadu, and the Malevolands. And we got everything to run the Cutifier. So why are we now in a dungeon? Well, as it turns out, King Hugh is no different and no better than Count Nefarious. And while Count Nefarious wants to malevolate everything, King Hugh wants to cutify everything. So instead of a good ruler and a bad ruler, we now have two bad rulers to deal with. That's not fun. Also, we now have a mutagen that will turn us into a toon if we don't get out of here. That mutagen has been put into us by none other than Count Nefarious via an injection needle. Great. And that was why we were unconscious, too. So now we're stuck in this cell. Snout is the guard. Our stuff is all the way to the right. We can't get anywhere. So we need to be able to plan an escape route. We already got one. We just need to figure out what it is. Also, before I forget, this is Disc 2 of Toonstruck. Disc 1 was our adventures through Xanadu, Qtopia, and the Malevolands, and everything we did to power up the Cutifier. Disc 2 starts here, believe it or not. So, the remainder of our adventure, where we escape, and who knows what else will happen, will take place on Disc 2. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the welcome mat here.
This is Nefarious' place, all right. Even the furnishings are sarcastic.
And apparently we can interact with it, and not just look at it.
Hey, step away from the mat, or I'll be sorry you did.
Obviously, Snout is not too bright.
But this guy lacks some personality he makes up for in snot.
And he's got a lot of it because he was... I'm not sure if he was doing it last video, but he definitely sneezes a lot, as you'll soon see. We can look at the bars.
Exceptionally thick iron bars. Only the best for Nefarious' guests.
And we can also look at our stuff.
My stuff! Nice of him to leave me the bag.
Which, of course, contains nothing! So, after finding out that we can't go into the hallway at all, we get nothing but cartoon noises if we do, we might as well talk to Snout. It's the only thing left to do. Anything else? Before I do anything. Okay, no. Let's go ahead and talk to Snout.
Excuse me?
Yes? Looking for mercy from old Snout, are we?
Look, buddy, I just want to talk to you and break the ice.
I think there's been some kind of Bless... Bless you.
Oh, yeah? What's that supposed to mean? One more wisecrack out of you and
You'll,
I'll do a thing to you! And you won't like it. 'Cause we ogres got our ways.
So, Snout is an ogre. Looks more like a warthog. We can ask about his sneezing as well as misfortune, but let's go ahead and break the ice just a little bit more, shall we?
Say, mind if I use the bathroom?
Bathroom? Oh, sure. Let me just unlock the... Hey! You're trying to trick me, aren't ya? Well, don't be getting any funny ideas. I catch you escaping and I'll take something big and excuse me. I'll swing it around and then... what was I talking about again?
Me escaping, as in, don't.
Yeah, don't. Or else.
And we can also ask about our stuff now that we've talked to him as well. We still have an ice cube to melt, so let's go ahead and melt it.
So, are you and Nefarious close?
Yep. Nefarious has praised me many, many times on my... how did he say it? Yeah. My gross incompetence, rank imbecility, and my mental deficiency. So there you go.
High praise indeed, but without a doubt, deserved.
Yeah. What's more, I'm real good at keeping his secrets.
Oh, really? Like, what secrets?
Well, you know, like how Nefarious is worried about you taking this malevolator thingy. Seeing as how it's your only hope of escaping the
Castle?
castle, yeah. And so I says to myself, boss, don't you worry, because one snouts on the job. And see, the poor sap of the
Dungeon?
yeah. He doesn't have the teeniest clue that he needs to steal your machine. And he'll never find out thanks to
Me?
no, me. You try to be smart.
And, like I said, Snout isn't too bright. So we've now melted the ice cube here. We can ask about his allergies.
What's with all the sneezing?
Oh,
You have
I
hay
spoiled it.
No fever. Just allergies to lots of stuff. Damp, mossy stone, rusty chains, rat droppings, and especially dust. That's the biggie.
And yet you spend your days in a damp, rat-filled, dusty dungeon?
Yeah. So, what's your point?
Have you ever considered another line of work? Anyway, now that I can't think of anything else to say about Snout after that, can't believe I spoiled his allergies, which you might want to take into consideration after we stop talking to him. Let's talk about misfortune.
So, who's that weird cat?
You met misfortune? Boy, you really must have ticked off Nefarious. He doesn't call in the spooky cat lady unless it's really serious.
Call her in? She lives in town?
Nah, she has a room right here in the castle. Only Nefarious and his 3 head henchmen are allowed inside.
You mean a guy as important as you can't get in?
Oh, I wouldn't even if I could. Nothing but weird stuff goes on in there. That witch can scramble your brain like an egg.
Interesting. Apparently misfortune is not someone to be trifled with. Might as well keep that in mind too. Anyway, let's ask about our stuff. even though I'm pretty sure it will prove useless.
Hey, could you hand me my stuff? It seems to have fallen out of my bag.
Oh, sure, I can... Oh, no. You're trying to trick me again, aren't ya? What did you take me for,
A moron?
No, a idiot. Do you take me for a idiot?
No, no, no. Just a moron.
Well, thanks. But don't be thinking buttering up old snout will get you anywheres. We ogres have a code.
Has yet to be deciphered.
And we have now exhausted all of our dialogue options, so it's time to say goodbye to Snout before we deal with him.
Well, it's been nice, but I haven't any eternity of rotting to be getting along with. See ya.
Hey, mister. From now on, it'll be me that tells you when it's time to see ya. Ha!
Of course. See ya.
And from here, Snout faces away from us, but he looks at us every so often. Wait for him
A crystal.
to snort and be ready to sneeze, because if you do these things that we'll be doing, clicking on the welcome mat to find a yellow crystal, and taking the welcome mat itself, while he's looking at us, he won't let us do any of it. And once we have the welcome mat, he stops looking towards us, so we can now use the welcome mat, which I'm pretty sure is going to be covered with dust, given how this dungeon is. But on what?
I'm not about to give that back.
Obviously not on Snout. But we can use it on ourselves or the bars.
What the...
Hey, I sure dusted that guy.
And we can now put the welcome mat back.
A lock. Call me crazy, but I bet this lock is opened with a key.
And the key is in the wall right here to our very left.
Where that key has been, it's enough to make you want to stay locked up.
Let's get the key. And use it on the keyhole.
Looks like eternity isn't all it's cracked up to be. I better grab my stuff.
And we get our stuff automatically. Alright, let's go ahead and right click to put that stuff away. And here's all our stuff.
A yellow crystal. A very dusty welcome mat. The key to my cell.
With 3 new additions. Now, we can look around here. There, we can go upstairs, we can enter the hallway, but we can also look.
Put him out of my misery. I've put him out of my misery.
We can also look at a knocked out Snout. Of course, you obviously won't do anything with him afterwards.
I'd rather not wake him up. He looks kind of peaceful when he's not sneezing.
And there is a Mina bird.
Jailbird, no doubt. Hi there, little fella.
Bucks, bucks, bucks.
Huh?
Every book should be pulled out once and only once. Don't start by pulling Red Book 1.
Okay.
Interesting. So by talking to this Mina bird, we get hints for a puzzle.
Hello?
Blue Book should be pulled out in numerical order. Blue Book 2 should be pulled out after 2 Red Books have been pulled.
Crazy bird.
Red Book 3 should be pulled immediately after Red Book 1. Half of the Blue Book pulls are immediately followed by a Red Book pull.
Of course. What was that you were saying?
Neither Red Book 3 nor Red Book 4 is the last Red Book to be pulled. The final Blue Book should be pulled immediately after all Red Books have been pulled. And that's all.
Right.
And if you talk to the Mina bird again after this, you'll go through all the clues again. it helps to write them down. I've already done that. So, let us go upstairs. The hallway leads to something I don't want to mess with yet. And there are some things here that we can look at.
A bizarre security door.
There's a door here that I probably don't want to go through yet. There is a fish tank. We can look at the fish tank.
The fish seems to be the keeper of that treasure chest.
And if you search the fish tank,
An aquarium, home to Nefarious' friendly pet fish.
you learn about the fish tank. You can look at the fish again.
What's a nice fish like you doing in a place like this?
And you can go for the treasure chest. Although, I would imagine this won't end well given that this is the Malevolands. And it appears that we have been bitten by Flanders' evil mutant cousin. Great. What were to happen if we were to go in here? Ah. This area. Not just yet then. Matter of fact, we can now go down to the dungeon. I might as well go ahead and show off what happens if you go in here, since we're now exploring rooms. There is the Climatron and the air circulator. Not going to mess with that yet. Anyway, let's go back upstairs. And let us go back upstairs again. This time we are now going to what I believe is the second floor. Yeah, we are now on the landing of the second floor. This door has a magnifying glass on it. This can't be good.
Looks like there's a gator party in progress, and I'm not invited.
Then don't go in there. Apparently that is the door to the rec room. There's two gargoyle statues, little gargoyle sculptures that we can interact with.
The head looks like it could be pushed back.
Let's play with the left one first. Hey, we have a blue crystal. I did not want to go up the stairs.
Blue crystal. A blue crystal.
And we can also mess with this other one.
The head looks like it could be pushed back.
Same description, but do we get the same results?
It won't budge. It seems to be locked from within.
Apparently not. Let us go through this doorway. And from here, we are near some odd books.
There's something weird about some of those books.
Now-
Maybe it's worth a closer look.
Now, if you get odd books or books, okay, odd books gets you look at the bookshelf and get a description. I believe books just takes you straight to the books. And these are the books that the Mina Bird was talking about. You have 4 red and 4 blue, and if you push the right books in the right order, can't believe I had to struggle to get that out, you can open up a secret passage, I'm assuming. So, we have the following clues. Every book is pulled once and only once. The game does not let you pull a book a second time. If you don't get the little grabby hand icon, that means you can't push it because you already have pushed it. Red 1 is not the start. You don't start with red 1. The blue books are pushed in numerical order, so you have to push them from 1 to 4 in numerical order. Book 2 is pushed after pushing 2 red books. Red 3 is pushed after R1. Half of the blue book pulls are followed by a red book pull. And red book 3 and red book 4 are not pulled last. Finally, you have to push the final blue book after pushing all the red ones. So since you don't start with red 1, you have to start with blue 1. And since you have to push all the blue books in order, we push this one first. Now that the grabby hand is no longer here and we just get the normal arrow for the cursor, that means we can't pull that book again. From here, half of blue is followed by red. That means we push or pull red 1 after that. And red 3 comes after red 1, so red 3. Notice that we pulled red 3, that means it's not pulled last. Now we're going to have to pull blue 2 because we just pulled 2 red. So there we go. And this is where it gets a little tricky. After pulling blue 2, you have to pull blue 3. The next 2 books are going to be red. You don't pull 4 last. So you have to pull that first. Then you pull R2. Finally, blue 4 should be last. You pull that one.
I did it. I guess hitting the books can pay off.
Alright. We now have opened a secret passageway. We can go in.
Oh, great. A guard. I better be careful while I'm down here.
I don't suppose you can talk to the guard.
I'd rather not chit-chat with a hostile 500-pound alligator.
And it's a hostile 500-pound alligator who looks like he's about ready to fall asleep.
Whatever he's watching must be fascinating. Barely conscious.
Thankfully, we have a means of making him go to sleep. We still have the music box. Let's go ahead and use it.
Say goodnight, fish breath.
And the guard is now out.
Sleeping Beauty. It's usually best to let sleeping gators lie.
And from here, we can now explore things at our leisure.
The ceiling is so low I can touch it from here. Looks like something is bolted through from the room above.
Not only can we look at the ceiling, but we can also look at the bolted platform. We could use the magnet on it, because we've never used the magnet so far this game.
I've got the knight, but I can't see what I'm doing.
How you automatically know that there's a knight up there, Drew, I will never know. We can look at the monitor.
A surveillance monitor.
And now that the guard is sleeping, we can use it.
I'm sure Sleepy won't mind if I turn this around. Let's see what's on.
Now we...
Malevolator. If I can steal it, maybe I can save Flux.
I keep forgetting when he's going to speak. We have 5 cameras that we can look at. And apparently, camera 1 is focused on the Malevolator. Let's see what happens if we switch to camera 2 by pressing the orange circle to turn the dial.
Flux and the cutifier. Repeat, I have tracked down Flux and the cutifier. The fool has flown into the canyons that lie beyond the twisted forest and is now completely lost. It's only a matter of time.
Oh my god.
The next time I radio in, Flux Wildly and his meddling machine will be history.
Hold on, little buddy. Hold on.
And apparently Count Nefarious is going after Flux Wily and the Cutifier. So we really need to do something here. Let's see what's going on with camera 3. Well, what do you know? That is the dungeon. Why the guard was not looking at that at any way, I have no idea. When he could be looking in the Malevolator. He just more likely doze off. Camera 4. This takes us back to the room above that we were just in. There's a secret passage, and there's the knight. A lifeless knight. In the cutscene that we saw before we were in the dungeon, I forgot to mention more about how we were in the dungeon. Apparently, while we were running away from King Hugh, Hugh cutified Flux wildly and had him in the cutifier, flying around and cutifying everything. We ran into Count Nefarious' henchmen. They grabbed us. We got sent to the dungeon. While we're in the dungeon, Miss Fortune said that we will remain in prison forever unless a lifeless knight walks, a dead bird rises aflame, and Miss Fortune obeys his commands. Obviously, this is a lifeless knight, so this is 1/3 of the prophecy as to our escape. And if you go to camera 5, it's just blank. There's nothing for camera 5. So let's keep this on camera 4, because if we don't, we are not going to know what we're doing. Let us use the magnet again.
Sounds like this is my night.
Indeed. Now, you can move the knight anywhere you want. But there is, out of all these destination tiles, one that is out of place, as if it's raised up somehow. Apparently you can't look at it with the right mouse button, but if you click on it with the left mouse button, you'll go to it. The lifeless knight moves. And now another title is risen. Let's move to it. Keep going to the tiles that raise up, and eventually you should be able to get out of here. And this should be the last one. Once again, the lifeless knight has moved. Let us now go back to the Night Hall, which is above us. And we can look at the suit of armor.
My knight in shining armor.
Indeed. We can't seem to look at anything else, but we can go upstairs. If we wanted to.
Oh, great. It's Nefarious' Three Stooges.
I'd rather not mess with anything in this room, because they will surely do things to us if we do. Best to stay away from the henchmen for now. Now, we need to go back downstairs to the dungeon. I don't think there's really much that we can do around here. At least not for the time being. I'll explore the 3rd floor eventually. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and explore the Climatron area.
It's a Climatron, whatever that is.
We've had a Turnatron, we've had a Gluatron, and now we have a Climatron. Once again, anything ending with a Tron, pretty obvious what you can do with them.
Some sort of control.
And I doubt we can do anything with it. Well, we could,
Looks like the lever's missing.
but the lever's missing. We're going to have to find the lever. There is also an air vent,
I wonder where this vent leads. Besides up.
and there's also a button.
A button.
I bet if we pressed the button, we'd open the air vent. We do. And there's really nothing else left to explore here, so let's get in the air vent. And there are a few things that we can do. We can go back to the Climatron room if we wish. But we can also interact with the spiders
Spiders? Why did it have to be spiders? I hate spiders.
and get a nice Indiana Jones reference there.
Touch bugs? No way.
And try to climb our way up.
It's too slippery for me to climb.
Drew Blank will try to climb up with his bare hands no matter which button on the mouse you press, left or right. And while it's too slippery to climb up as a human, you can climb up as a fly. This is where the fly suit comes in handy. You think maybe you'd be able to fly up there because, you know, the fly has wings, but flies can also climb walls, so... and do it very well at that, so... let's try that then. Just use the fly suit on Drew Blank.
Flyman, able to climb tall air vents in 1,000 tiny fly steps.
And this gets us into the bathroom. We can do quite a bit of things here, and we will, but that will have to wait until the next video. So, F5, save the practice file just in case, and LP16. Join me next time where we explore more of Count Nefarious' castle, starting with this bathroom. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!